PodClass English. Hello, and a very warm welcome to all of our amazing listeners out there. We are so incredibly happy to have you back with us today. If you have ever felt like your days are running you instead of you running your days, you're in the right place. Welcome back to PodClass English. I'm Luna.
And I'm Jake. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome you to this special episode. Today, we are going to unlock a secret tool together. It is something you already have, but maybe you are not using it right. We are talking about the life-changing power of a daily routine. Let's jump right in.
That's right, Jake. Many English learners struggle here. They think their day is too normal. They just say, I wake up, I go to work, I sleep. But there is much more to say. Jake, what is your first morning habit?
Honestly, I used to check my phone immediately. I checked Instagram, emails, and news. It was a bad habit. It made me feel stressed. Now, I have a new rule. No phone for the first 30 minutes.
Wow, that is a huge change. What do you do instead?
I drink a big glass of water. Then I look out the window. It is simple, but it wakes up my brain naturally. What about you, Luna? Are you a morning person?
Oh, yes. I am definitely a morning person. I love the quiet time. The world is still asleep. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. I never hit the snooze button. I get up, I make hot coffee, then I read a book for 20 minutes.
Reading in the morning? That sounds amazing. But how do you find the energy? Sometimes I feel like a zombie at 6 a.m.
Oh, yes. I am definitely a morning person. I love the quiet time. The world is still asleep. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. I never hit the snooze button. I get up, I make hot coffee, then I read a book for 20 minutes.
Reading in the morning? That sounds amazing. But how do you find the energy? Sometimes I feel like a zombie at 6 a.m.
Haha, the secret is the night routine, Jake. We will talk about that later. First, let's look at the vocabulary. Notice words like usually, always, and sometimes. These are adverbs of frequency. They are super helpful.
Good point, Luna. For example, I always make my bed. I do it every morning, even if I am in a hurry. Why? It gives me a small feeling of success. It is my first win of the day.
I love that. A clean room means a clean mind. So what comes next? Do you eat breakfast or do you skip it?
I never skip breakfast. It is my most important meal. I usually make something quick. I eat oatmeal with bananas and honey. While I eat, I write down my goals. I choose top 3 goals. What about you, Luna?
I prefer a lighter breakfast. I eat fruit or eggs. But my favorite part is my commute. I mean, my journey to work. I don't drive, I take the bus. And guess what I do on the bus?
Let me guess. Do you sleep?
No, I listen to podcasts. It is the perfect time to learn. For our listeners, listen to English on the bus. It is a fantastic daily habit.
Excellent advice, Luna. You don't need hours of free time. You just need to use these small gaps in your day. Okay, Luna, let's move to the middle of the day. It's 2 p.m. You are at work, or maybe you are studying. You feel tired. The afternoon slump hits you. What do you do?
Oh, the afternoon slump is real. Around 2:30 p.m., my energy drops. In the past, I drank more coffee, but then I couldn't sleep at night. Now, my routine is different. I take a 10-minute walk outside. Fresh air helps. Movement refreshes my body.
I agree. I do some light stretching at my desk. It helps my posture. I sit for many hours. Also, I drink more water. Dehydration makes us feel tired. We often don't realize it.
Exactly. Small habits make a big difference. Let's practice some phrases. To describe this, you can say, I take a break. I stretch my legs. Or, I recharge my batteries.
Those are beautiful idioms, Luna. Recharge my batteries, just like a smartphone.
You know, Jake, speaking of routines, some people have unusual habits. I read an article about famous writers. They did strange things for inspiration. What about you? Do you have a weird habit?
Let me think. Well, it sounds funny. I always talk to my plants. I do it while watering them. I tell them about my day in English. It sounds crazy, but it helps me practice speaking. I don't feel nervous. No one judges my grammar.
Haha, that is not crazy, Jake. It is a brilliant tip. My unusual habit is different. I must walk in circles to get new ideas. If I sit down, my mind goes blank. Movement unlocks my creativity. Our listeners should find their own unique habits too.
That brings us to an important topic. Many students ask us a question. They say, how can I find time for English? My schedule is completely full. They think they need to study for 2 hours every day.
Yes, and that is a mistake. It is too hard to keep doing. The secret is integration. For example, change your phone language. Change your social media to English. You look at your phone many times a day. This forces your brain to read English naturally.
Brilliant! Here is another trick. It is the 5-minute journal. Every evening, write 3 sentences in English. Write about your day. For example, today was busy. I ate chicken. I met a new friend. It is short. It is simple. But your writing will grow fast.
Let us talk about a modern problem. We always look at screens. We check notifications constantly. This destroys our focus. Jake, do you have a routine for a digital detox during the day?
Yes, I do. It is very important. I use the deep work method. For 2 hours in the morning, I put my phone in another room. I close all social media tabs on my computer. I only focus on my main task. It feels difficult at first, but you get so much work done.
That is a great routine. I do something similar at lunchtime. I never look at my phone while I eat. I focus on my food. I look out the window, or I talk to my colleagues. We need to give our brains a break from information. It helps reduce anxiety.
Speaking of focus, how do you organize your tasks, Luna? Many people feel overwhelmed by their to-do lists. They have 20 things to do. They don't know where to start.
I use the Eisenhower matrix. It sounds complex, but it is simple. I divide my tasks into 4 boxes: important and urgent, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, not urgent and not important. I always do the important and urgent tasks first.
That is smart. I use the Pomodoro technique. I work for 25 minutes, then I take a 5-minute break. I repeat this 4 times. After that, I take a longer break. This keeps my energy high. It stops me from feeling burnt out.
But let's be honest, Jake. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes your alarm fails. You wake up late. You spill coffee on your shirt. Your morning routine is ruined. What do you do then?
Oh, that happens to me often. In the past, I got angry. I gave up on the whole day. Now, I use a new rule. It is the reset button rule. I tell myself, the morning was bad, but the afternoon is a brand new start. Don't let one bad hour ruin the whole day.
I love that mindset. Be kind to yourself. If you miss your routine, do not worry. Do not punish yourself. Just make a good choice next. Consistency does not mean perfection. It just means you don't give up.
We talked a lot about workdays. But what about the weekend? Should we keep the exact same routine on Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I believe in flexibility. On the weekend, I sleep a bit more, but I don't sleep all day. Sleeping too much can actually make you feel more tired. I wake up around 8 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. I use my weekends for active rest. I go hiking, I visit friends, I cook special meals.
Active rest is a great term. I use my weekends to disconnect completely from work. I don't check my professional emails. I clean my apartment thoroughly on Saturday morning. It feels good to start the weekend with a clean space. Then, I enjoy my free time without guilt. Exactly, Luna. To stay consistent, you need rewards. Our brains love rewards. If you follow your routine all week, what do you do on the weekend? Do you keep the same schedule?
Oh, absolutely not. Saturday is my break day. I don't set an alarm. I sleep until 9 a.m. I stay in my pajamas. I watch my favorite shows. A weekend break is good. It makes me excited for Monday. It keeps life balanced.
Perfect balance. I do the same. On Sundays, I reward myself. I have a huge dinner. Or I watch a movie with friends. It gives me something to look forward to. Rewards are the fuel for our long-term habits.
Jake, you mentioned earlier that you prepare your clothes at night. Let us expand on that. How does planning your next day the night before help your routine?
It is a game changer, Luna. Every evening, before I relax, I look at my calendar. I check my meetings for tomorrow. I write down my number one priority. This removes decision fatigue in the morning. When I wake up, I don't ask, "What should I do today?" I already know the answer. I just start.
Yes, decision fatigue is real. We make thousands of choices every day. By planning the night before, you save your brain power. I also clean my kitchen counters before bed. Waking up to a clean kitchen makes me happy. It makes my morning coffee taste even better. Now, let's talk about the end of the day. You finish your work. You finish your classes. How do you disconnect? How do you change from busy mode to relax mode?
This is my favorite part. I get home. The first thing I do is change clothes. I put on comfortable clothes. This sends a signal to my brain. It means the workday is over. Then I cook dinner. Cooking is like meditation for me. I focus on cutting vegetables. I forget the stress.
That sounds very peaceful. I usually go to the gym, or I do some yoga after work. Working out releases negative energy. After that, I have dinner with my family. We talk about our day. A good routine connects you with people.
Beautifully said. And what about before bed? You said morning success starts the night before.
Yes, my night routine is strict. At 9:30 p.m., I turn off all screens. No TV, no laptop, no phone. Blue light keeps your brain awake. Instead, I write in my journal. I write 3 things I am grateful for. It makes my mind positive. Then, I read until I sleep.
No wonder you have so much energy at 6 a.m. You prepare your body for rest. My night routine is similar, but I also prepare my clothes for the next day. I pack my bag. It saves me time and stress in the morning.
But Jake, what happens when you are in the middle of your routine and a sudden distraction appears? A friend calls, an urgent email pops up, or you just remember something you forgot to do. How do you protect your focus?
That is a daily test, Luna. I use the 2-minute rule. If the distraction takes less than 2 minutes, I finish it quickly to clear my head. If it takes longer, I write it down on a sticky note and immediately go back to my routine. Don't let a text message steal your morning peace.
That makes complete sense. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. A daily routine is great, but how do we make sure we are actually moving toward our big life goals? Do you look at your routine every week?
Yes, I do a weekly review every Sunday evening. I sit down for 15 minutes and ask myself, what went well this week? Where did I waste time? Did I practice my English enough? It is like a checkup for your life. It keeps you on the right track.
Speaking of checkups, you mentioned earlier that I read for 20 minutes every morning. Many people tell me, Luna, I want to read more books, but I can't finish a single chapter without falling asleep or getting bored. What is the secret there?
The secret is choosing the right book and the right format. If you are a beginner, don't start with heavy philosophical books. Start with short stories or articles. And for English learners, audiobooks are pure gold. You can listen and read at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Environment is everything. Let's talk about our surroundings. Your physical space affects your mental energy. Jake, how do you set up your room or desk to keep your routine active?
I keep it minimal, Luna. Clutter on your desk creates clutter in your mind. I only keep my notebook, a pen, and my glass of water. I also make sure there is plenty of natural light. When your workspace feels clean and inviting, you actually look forward to sitting down and working.
We talked about waking up at 6 a.m., but we cannot ignore the science of sleep. You can have the best morning routine in the world, but if you only sleep for 4 hours, you will fail. How do you ensure high-quality sleep, Jake?
It's all about temperature and darkness. Your bedroom should be slightly cool, around 18 degrees Celsius, and completely dark. I use blackout curtains. Good sleep is not just about the number of hours, it is about the depth of your rest. Treat your bedroom like a sanctuary.
That is deep, Jake. Let's talk about a psychological trick. When people try to build a new routine, they often say, I am trying to become an organized person. But experts say we should change our identity first. What does that mean?
It means you stop saying, I am trying to learn English, and start saying, I am an English speaker. You stop saying, I am trying to wake up early, and say, I am a morning person. When you change how you view yourself, your daily actions automatically change to match that identity.
Wow, I love that mindset shift. But how do we stay motivated on days when we don't feel any progress? Should we use a habit tracker app, or is a simple calendar better?
I prefer a physical calendar on the wall. Every day I complete my routine, I draw a big red X on that day. After a week, you see a chain of red X's. Your only job then is, don't break the chain. Visual progress gives your brain a huge dopamine hit.
Don't break the chain. That is a classic rule. But what about the changing seasons? A routine that works perfectly in the beautiful summer might feel impossible in the freezing winter. How do we adapt?
You need a routine audit twice a year. In the summer, you might love running outside at 6 a.m. because the sun is up. In the winter, you might change that to indoor yoga or reading. A routine must be flexible enough to live in the real world.
Let's touch on nutrition, because what we put into our bodies directly changes how our brain operates. If you eat a heavy, sugary lunch, your afternoon routine is going to suffer. What do you eat to stay sharp, Jake?
I avoid heavy carbs during my working hours. I focus on clean proteins, nuts, and healthy fats. And I drink green tea instead of a third cup of coffee. High sugar leads to a massive energy crash, and a crashed brain cannot maintain a productive routine.
Before we wrap things up today, let's bust a popular myth. Everyone hears that it takes exactly 21 days to form a new habit. Is that actually true, Jake? Or is it fake news?
It is definitely a myth, Luna. Science shows it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days, depending on the person and the habit. So if you are on day 22 and it still feels hard, don't worry. That is completely normal. Just keep showing up every single day.
That myth busting was so necessary, Jake. Now, let's share one of the most powerful tactical tools for building a routine. It's called habit stacking. How does it work?
Habit stacking is brilliant. Instead of trying to remember a brand new action out of nowhere, you anchor it to something you already do automatically every single day. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will write down my top 3 goals. You use the old habit as a trigger for the new one.
Habit stacking is brilliant. Instead of trying to remember a brand new action out of nowhere, you anchor it to something you already do automatically every single day. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will write down my top 3 goals. You use the old habit as a trigger for the new one.
It requires gentle but clear boundaries. You don't have to say no to everything, but you can say, I can't stay late tonight, but let's plan a lunch next weekend. When people see how serious and happy you are with your structure, they usually start to respect it.
Let's get back to physical energy for a second. Many people open their eyes and immediately drink espresso. You mentioned drinking a big glass of water first. Why is water superior to coffee in the first hour?
When you sleep for 8 hours, your body naturally becomes dehydrated. If you dump caffeine into a dehydrated body, you increase your stress hormones like cortisol. Drinking water first flushes out toxins and wakes up your metabolism. Save the coffee for an hour later. It works much better that way.
That is a huge tip. Speaking of inputs, I have a strict rule in my morning routine. No news and no politics for the first 2 hours of the day. Why do you think that matters so much for our mental health, Jake?
Because the media is designed to shock us. If the first thing your brain processes is danger, panic, or arguments, you enter a state of fight or flight before you even put your shoes on. Protect your mind in the morning like a fortress. Fill it with good books, learning, or quiet thought.
Absolutely. But Jake, what about when you leave your home? Traveling for vacation or a business trip can throw everything out the window. New time zones, hotel rooms, and strange foods. How do you travel without destroying your progress?
You create a portable mini routine. You might not be able to do your full 1-hour home routine, but you can pack your running shoes, your favorite tea bags, and your journal. If you can keep just 2 small habits alive while traveling, your brain maintains the consistency.
That's super practical. Now, here is a bit of nature science. Getting outdoor light into your eyes early in the day. I know you look out the window, Jake, but stepping outside is even better, right?
Yes, sunlight triggers your brain to stop producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. It sets a natural timer for your body, telling it exactly when to feel awake now and exactly when to feel tired 16 hours later. It's the easiest way to cure insomnia.
We talked about physical workspace clutter, but let's talk about digital clutter. Emails, old apps, hundreds of unread notifications. Should clearing our digital space be a regular habit?
Oh, 100%. Once a month, I do a digital declutter routine. I unsubscribe from newsletters I don't read, delete old files, and clear my desktop screen. A messy phone or computer screen actually causes subtle micro-stress every time you open it.
That is so true. Let's bring routines into another huge part of life, money. Do you have a daily or weekly routine for managing your budget, Jake?
Every Friday, I spend exactly 5 minutes reviewing my expenses from the week. It prevents that terrible surprise at the end of the month where you ask, where did all my money go? Facing your numbers regularly gives you massive peace of mind.
Speaking of focus, music can be a magical tool. Do you use specific soundscapes or playlists to tell your brain, okay, it's time to work now?
Yes, I use instrumental music, specifically movie soundtracks or lo-fi beats without lyrics. Words in songs compete with the words you are trying to write or think. When I put my headphones on and play my specific deep work playlist, my brain automatically knows it's time to focus.
Beautiful. To close this deep conversation before our final wrap-up, let's look at the heart of any routine, the why. If someone is building a routine just because a YouTuber told them to, will they succeed?
Never, Luna. You must align your routine with your true personal goals. If you are learning English, your routine should connect to your dream of traveling or getting a better job. The routine is just the vehicle. Your personal passion is the fuel. Find your why first.
That is a lifesaver. But what about procrastination? We all have days where we look at our routine checklist and we just don't want to do it. We sit on the couch staring at the task. How do we break that paralysis?
I use the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. The moment you feel hesitation to do a task, you count down out loud. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and physically move. Counting distracts your brain from making excuses and forces your nervous system into action before your mind can say no.
Counting down, simple but aggressive. Let's jump back to the evening routine. Many people can't sleep because their minds are racing with thoughts, worries, and tomorrow's tasks. How do we turn off the brain?
You need a brain dump, Luna. Get a piece of paper and write down absolutely everything bouncing around in your head. Worries, shopping lists, text messages you need to send. Don't organize it. Just empty your brain onto the paper. Once it is safe on paper, your subconscious mind finally relaxes.
That is a brilliant therapeutic habit. However, Jake, there is a dangerous trap called productive procrastination, where people spend 5 hours creating the most beautiful, colored routine chart, but they never actually start doing the work. How do we avoid over-planning?
The planner trap. Remember, a bad routine that you actually execute is 100 times better than a perfect routine that stays on paper. Limit your planning time to 10 minutes a day. Your goal is execution, not design. Keep your plan raw and simple.
Louder for the people in the back. Now, let's revisit weekends. We said a little extra sleep is fine, but staying in bed until 1 p.m. on Sunday can actually ruin your entire upcoming week. Can you explain why?
It gives you what scientists call social jet lag. Shifting your sleep schedule by more than 2 hours confuses your body's internal biological clock. Your body thinks you traveled to a different continent. Then on Monday morning, you feel physically exhausted because your clock is broken.
Wow, social jet lag. That explains so much. Let's talk about emotional health. We focus a lot on physical and professional habits, but what about a routine for happiness? How does gratitude play a part? It gives you what scientists call social jet lag. Shifting your sleep schedule by more than 2 hours confuses your body's internal biological clock. Your body thinks you traveled to a different continent. Then on Monday morning, you feel physically exhausted because your clock is broken.
It physically rewires your brain, Luna. When you actively write down 3 specific things you are grateful for every day, you train your brain to scan the world for positives instead of negatives. It changes your default mood from stressed to appreciative.
Wow, social jet lag. That explains so much. Let's talk about emotional health. We focus a lot on physical and professional habits, but what about a routine for happiness? How does gratitude play a part?
It physically rewires your brain, Luna. When you actively write down 3 specific things you are grateful for every day, you train your brain to scan the world for positives instead of negatives. It changes your default mood from stressed to appreciative.
It really does. Let's look at our phones again. We talked about notifications, but what about the apps themselves? If your home screen is full of colorful social media badges, your brain will automatically want to click them.
Exactly. My routine is to hide all social media apps inside a folder on the very last page of my phone. On my main home screen, I only keep productive tools like my Kindle app, my calendar, and meditation apps. Make the bad habits hard to access and the good habits easy.
Out of sight, out of mind. Now, what if someone is trying to build a routine alone and keeps failing? Should they find an accountability partner, like a friend or classmate?
Absolutely, Luna. Sharing your goals increases your chances of success significantly. Find a friend who is also learning English or trying to build a habit. Text each other every morning, "I am up," or "I finished my 20-minute reading." Knowing someone is watching keeps you honest.
It definitely pushes you. Let's touch on fitness routines. Many people buy a gym membership, go for 3 days, and stop. How do we anchor an exercise routine so it actually sticks?
You eliminate friction. Pack your gym bag the night before and place it directly next to your front door. If you exercise at home, lay out your yoga mat in the living room before you sleep. The fewer steps you have to take to start the workout, the more consistent you will be.
Brilliant advice. To end this expanded breakdown before our final conclusion, Jake, what is the single most important piece of advice you can give to someone whose routine breaks down completely for a whole week?
Forgive yourself immediately, Luna. Life happens. You get sick, things get busy, or you just have a low-energy week. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people isn't that successful people never fail, it's that they reset faster. Don't wait for next Monday or next month. Reset today.
So, dear listeners, a daily routine is not a prison. It is a tool. It gives you structure. It saves your energy. It helps you achieve your goals. And it helps you learn English.
We want to hear from you now. What does your daily routine look like? Do you prefer mornings or evenings? Leave a comment below. Use the new vocabulary. Let's practice together.
And before we go, did you find this video helpful? Did you learn a new phrase? Did you enjoy spending time with us? If yes, please do 3 quick things. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with a friend. Your support helps us make more free lessons.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Keep practicing every day. Make English a part of your routine. We will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful, productive day.
PodClass English.